Hello students, I'm back with the third video on nutrition in plants. Today's video is going to cover photosynthesis. As you know, all green plants depend upon photosynthesis or perform photosynthesis for making their own food. So let's start off. So there you are, photosynthesis, autotrophic mode of nutrition. Let's move on. Objectives of this lesson. You will be able to understand and explain what photosynthesis is, the process photosynthesis. Identify parts of plant that help in carrying out process of photosynthesis. Let's move on. Let's recall the parts of plant. All of you have studied about it in your previous classes, but it's good to recall so that it will help us in understanding photosynthesis better. So the parts of plant, this is stem. Two systems are there. We can divide the parts of plant under two systems. One is called the shoot system, the other is the root system. The root system consists, the shoot system consists of stem, leaf, flower, bud, and fruits. So these are the parts of the shoot system. And when we talk about the root system consists of the primary root, the secondary root, and the tertiary root. The primary root develops first, and from the primary root, the secondary roots develop, and from the secondary, the tertiary roots. Let's see the image. There you can see. Here, this is the main root, and it is called the primary root. From the primary root, secondary roots develop, and all the roots have tiny root hairs. The main root has got a tip with the root cap. The root cap helps in protecting the root while it grows downward through the soil. This brings us to the parts of a leaf. All of we are aware, we can see different shapes and sizes of leaf. Basically, the leaf has been named accordingly. Let's see the first, that is the base of the leaf. The part of the leaf that points towards the stem is the base of the leaf. Or you can get the next structure is axil. That's the stem. That's the petiole. So leaf base and petiole are closely placed. When we come to midrib, the petiole extends into the broad part of the leaf and divides the leaf into two equal parts, and that is known as midrib. Then we have the leaf margin, which gives the definite shape to the leaf. Next, we have the leaf tip, veins, venules or veinlets, leaf blade, or it is also known as lamina, which you are going to use the term in higher classes. Let's move on. Cross section of a leaf. Now we are coming to the main part. It is there in your NCERT textbook. When we observe the leaf, when we cut a piece of the leaf and observe it under a microscope, we term it as, or we tell, or give the name as cross section of a leaf. This is how it appears. It's just a diagrammatic representation. As you can see, three layers are there. This is one layer, and that layer is known as upper epidermis. Below the upper epidermis, we see cells containing a lot of chloroplast, which gives it a green, deep green color to the leaf. And that part is known as the mesophyll. And then lower epidermis. This lower epidermis contains stomata, tiny pores that allows carbon dioxide to enter into the leaf and oxygen to leave the leaf. So let's see. Stoma, that tiny pore is called stoma, and this stoma is protected, or opening and closing of the stoma uh, happens due to two definite cells, and those are known as guard cells. It's their guard cell with chloroplast in them. So stomata and the whole apparatus where that tiny pore stoma can be found is known as stomata. So let's see. This is a bigger view of the stomata. The stomata contains two bean-shaped cells, and they are called guard cells. The guard cells also contain vacuole. Remember, in the last video, we had studied about the parts of a plant cell. It also has a huge vacuole. And now those structures are chloroplast. As you can see, many chloroplasts are streaming in the cytoplasm, and the nucleus is being pushed by this vacuole, large vacuole, towards the periphery. That was closed stomata. Now this is open stomata. Let's see, observe the closed stomata. See how it is both the guard cells are sticking together. There's no space in between. So when a leaf droops down, the stomata closes. This is open stomata, and the pores are clear. Gases can enter and exit the leaf. Photosynthesis. So let's see what photosynthesis is. As you can see the sun over here, the sun rays fall on the leaf. The leaf contains chloroplast and tiny pores which allow the carbon dioxide to enter into the leaf. Food is being prepared over here. Water is being absorbed by the root, which through the xylem vessels enter into the leaf. And in the process, oxygen is given out. Let's see in this. See here, solar energy, chlorophyll, carbon dioxide and water is present in the leaf. Oxygen is being given out. Glucose, this glucose, prepared glucose, is converted into starch, and then it is sent to the different parts of the plant body. This is what happens in photosynthesis. Photo means light, synthesis means to make. So what they are making over here? Food. Carbohydrate is being prepared using sunlight, carbon dioxide and water. Three things are being used over here: sunlight, carbon dioxide and water. When these three things are put together, then we get glucose and oxygen, of course, which is given out. Let's see the root. See, we have already come across in a slide lateral root, primary root. Yes, root hair. I want to show you what root hair looks like. So there, this is root hair. This root hair is very essential for the survival of the plant. It is not the primary root or the lateral root or secondary root or tertiary roots, which is absorbing the water and mineral for the plant. It is the root hair which is doing it. This root hair is absorbing the water and mineral and passing on to the xylem vessels, through which xylem vessels are the passageway. Like you have blood vessels, similarly, the xylem vessels help in transporting water and minerals to the leaf, right from the root to the leaf, so that it can help in photosynthesis. Let's see how it can be represented through an equation. Photosynthesis can be represented through an equation. This is called word equation, where you write the word carbon dioxide, water, light, chlorophyll, glucose, oxygen. So this is known as word equation. You must remember this. Symbol equation, where you have to write the symbol of carbon dioxide, symbol of water. There is no symbol for light. Here we are not writing the symbol of light, neither of chlorophyll. So we have to write the two words. Then comes glucose. Glucose is Cis6H12O6 plus oxygen. So this is how we represent photosynthesis in a short way. And it is important for you to remember this. You can write it down. You can take a screenshot of it. And it is also there in your textbook. You can always revert back to your textbook. Now, variegated leaf, there are some leaves which are not green in color, and you might think that how photosynthesis can occur in such leaves. It is variegated, means it contains more than one color. Sometimes it might be having white, patches of white or yellowish colored leaf. The concentration of the color of a different color will decide whether the chloroplast which is present in the leaf will be visible or not. So deep red color will mask, will cover up the color of the chloroplast. Okay, so it might be variegated. It might have some other colors in the leaf. Still it undergoes photosynthesis. Like maple leaf, some of you must have seen maple leaf. Croton leaf. I have few images of croton leaves. As you can see, these are variegated leaves, which means multicolored leaf. Variegated leaves means multicolored leaf. And you can see patches of green in it. And these patches of green helps in photosynthesis. Maple leaves contain red pigment in more concentration, so the green color is not seen, but photosynthesis takes place. Synthesis of other nutrients. Plants need protein and fats besides carbohydrate. And the proteins and fats are made of nitrogen. Plenty of nitrogen is present in the atmosphere, but it is in the insoluble form. It cannot be easily taken up. Plants get soluble nitrogen from the soil. Certain types of bacteria called rhizobium present in soil convert gaseous nitrogen or nitrogen from the air into soluble form. The decomposition of dead bodies of plants and animals also get converted, or the nitrogen present in their body gets converted into soluble form with the help of fungus, bacteria. So there are organisms which help in converting the organic substances into nitrogenous compound, which can be easily taken in by the plants through the root. Sometimes farmers add nitrogenous fertilizers to their field. So this is how plants take the nutrients, the minerals, and convert it into fats and proteins, which are needed for building up their body as well. So here is the definition of photosynthesis. I want you people to take a screenshot or pause the video and write it down. Summarize. Carbohydrate is produced during photosynthesis. Along with carbohydrate, oxygen is produced. So a balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide is maintained by the green plants, which is why forests are called green lungs of the earth. Leaves are known as the kitchen or the food factories. And leaves look green because of the presence of chloroplast, and chloroplast contain a green pigment called chlorophyll. Besides the leaf, photosynthesis can take place in stems as well. The green stems perform photosynthesis. The plants that grow in desert have spines. The leaves get modified into spines. So the stem has to take the responsibility of photosynthesis. And photosynthesis helps in maintaining the balance between oxygen and carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. So this brings us to the end of this topic. 3 slides would be there. Pause it, take down the question answers. It will help you to understand the topics better. Here you are, the second slide. This is the third slide. Pause and write down.